fast, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, what's your question?
What are you going to do for the schools and also for the kids that aren't educated?
Okay, that's an excellent question. What grade are you in?
Sixth.
You're going to start 6th grade
Yep.
next year? Okay. Well, it's very nice to meet you.
Thanks.
What are you doing for the summer?
Golfing.
Golfing?
Football, a lot of stuff.
Sounds good. I wish I was doing that for the summer. Golfing and football?
Golf with me.
Yeah? What's your handicap?
What?
What's your brother's name?
Dalen.
How old are you, Dale? You're 6? All right. All right. Let's talk. It's an excellent question. Thank you, Jim. Give everybody. Obviously, everybody's concerned about the economy right now. There was a jobs report that came out today. 62,000 jobs lost last month. 62,000 jobs lost in June. We've lost 438,000 jobs since the beginning of this year. 438,000 jobs. And everybody is feeling the burdens of recession. Now, the way people are feeling it the most right now is obviously rising gas prices. And I know that especially hits hard here in North Dakota because people have long distances to drive. And so we have to provide some immediate relief to the economy. I'm going to get to this education question. I'm making a point here. We've got to provide some immediate relief. I believe we have to have an additional economic stimulus through an energy rebate that puts money into the pockets of families right now so that they can deal with these rising gas prices. We've got to have a long-term strategy for energy independence, which means investing in solar and wind and biodiesel and making our cars more fuel efficient. We've got to invest in our infrastructure, our roads and our bridges. That'll put people back to work and make us more competitive. We've got to invest in science and technology. Our funding of science and technology is actually flatlined at a time when that's going to determine whether we remain the most innovative economy in the world. We've got to improve our trade agreements so that other countries are reciprocating. We shouldn't be having an argument about whether beef from North Dakota is going into South Korea. We shouldn't be having arguments when South Korea sends hundreds of thousands of cars into the United States and we can only sell 4,000 cars there, or if China manipulates its currency. So there are a range of steps that we can take to strengthen our economy. But the most important thing to making sure that we can compete in the 21st century is our schools. How well we are educating our children. That is the most important thing. That's the most important thing that we can do to make sure that our children continue to be able to live out the American dream. And we're not doing a good enough job right now. We passed a law called No Child Left Behind, and we left the money behind for No Child Left Behind. And look, we have to raise standards in our schools. Our schools have to have high standards, especially in areas like math and science. But you don't measure the quality of a school just with a single high-stakes standardized test, because teachers are starting to teach to the test. That's pushing aside art and music and history and civics and all the critical things that our young people need as well. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to change No Child Left Behind. we are going to invest in early childhood education. Because if young people are learning their letters and their numbers and their colors and being read to when they're very young, then they aren't behind when they start school. And that closes the achievement gap. And that's especially important for Native American children, African American children, Latinos, oftentimes who start off already behind. And we have to not just talk about how great our teachers are, we have to reward them for their greatness by giving them higher salaries, giving them more support, more professional development. We've got to update our curriculum and the way our schools are organized and designed. You know, our schools are still designed for the agricultural age. And that's why, frankly, you're getting 3 months off to golf. But I tell you what, schools in other countries are working harder. And that's something that we've got to do. We've got to work smarter, and we've got to work harder. And let me make one last point about this. Well, before I do that, once kids get out of high school, they're going to need secondary and college education. They need additional education after secondary education. And that's why I want to provide a $4,000 tuition credit for every student every year, so that they can go to college without amassing $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000 worth of debt. That $4,000 tuition credit will go to young people who are willing to engage in community service. We're not just going to give it away for free. You invest in your community, in your neighborhood, work for your country in the Peace Corps, teach in a underserved school, and we will provide you with the education that you need. So it's a two-way street. Which brings me to my last point, and that is, the government can't do it alone. We can pay our teachers more, we can have early childhood education programs, we can get computers into schools, we can revise our curriculums, we can make college more affordable, but ultimately, none of that will work if parents aren't willing to turn off the TV set, put away the video games, make sure your kid is doing their homework, demanding excellence from them in science and math and foreign languages and hard subjects. We've got to have some responsibility in this education of our children. Don't just leave it to the schools.